From what I hear from people that have played at the StFX basketball program, they talk. They just say first class.
Mm.
Um, and I go to those basketball championships. They haven't been here in a bit,
Mm-hmm.
COVID, and then I don't know where it was before.
Yeah.
But StFX always seems to be there. They always
Yeah.
seem to be the top, the head honchos, top
Yeah.
cheese here.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could maybe tell me some stories about what you saw within that organization that represented first class professionalism and maybe their secret to chasing championships every year.
Yeah. So I think you nailed it, man. Like professionalism, top notch, and the whole Saint Effects as an organization, money. But like Coach K, that man is what he is. He's a legend. So 46 years of coaching, and he was a father figure to every one of the players. You won't find a player that's going to say something different. He was a father figure to all of us, but a basketball, his knowledge was beyond. But it was just it's a spirit of excellence. It was, we come in, and I didn't know how great it was until I started hearing players on other programs, and they're like, no, we don't have that. We don't have that.
Well, what do you mean?
So
Have
like,
what? Like what?
well, like a pregame meal. So if we had a 8 o'clock game, 4 o'clock we would meet. In Antigonish, it was, oh my dear, Pizza Delight. So home games was Pizza Delight. If we're coming to Halifax, we would go to, if it was like a big game, we'd be at Salty's. So all that kind of stuff. And it's a 4 o'clock pregame. And after that, we'd then get picked up by the bus and go back to the game. Everything was just, itinerary was top notch. He treated us like we were in the pros. So when I talked to other teams, they're like, we don't get this, we don't have that. We don't. It was like they just meet at the gym 40 minutes before their game. But us, it was like, no, you got this, and you got video, and then we got this, and you got a shoe company that's sponsoring you, and it's like
No.
everything was just top notch from how he ran it. And the practices were so organized, and he didn't take anything from anybody. It didn't matter who you were. If you did not go by his guidelines, then there was consequences you had to follow. Like, doesn't matter if you're the leading scorer or don't get any time at all. Everybody falls under a criteria where we are here for one goal, one common goal, and let's go get it done. So our practices were hard, our practices were intense, and he held everybody accountable. And he would just bring in players that had the same kind of goal in mind, just go get the job done. And just from when you get on campus and just the alumni, the support that they give, it was because it's in Antigonish, like that's what it is. So you're supported, everybody supported that school because when Saint FX is like the heart of that community. And so everybody was there and it was like, listen, we go get it done. We have a standard that we want to follow. And Coach K was making sure that this is how it works here. And he just did everything in excellence from every minute of practice, just planned out and go get it done. And his coaching philosophy. And what I loved is that he would make the athletes determine what the plan was going to be that year rather than having a cookie cutter. This is what I do always as a coach, so I'm going to do this and you're going to run this. He's like, no, this is the athletes that I got. So this is the system that I'm going to use. Where some coaches say, I have a system, and they try to fit athletes into that system. It doesn't always work. Coach K takes his athletes and says, now with this group, this is the system that I'm going to use.
So he makes adjustments every year?
Well, he would always probably go after the same people, but like by game, there's adjustments. So it's like one game I might start, next game I'm not starting because it's like there's a matchup problem there.
So how long did it take for you to recognize that he's not necessarily sitting me because he's mad at me? I'm not starting because it's a game plan. How long did that?
Oh,
Come on.
He would have game. We'd have pregame practices and pregame meetings. So it'd be like, okay, for today, this is the scout. We're playing this team, so this is my starters because you're gonna match up better with this guard than somebody else. So it right away, he would tell you like, this is who's starting because of this, and then we had our normal starters. But in my first year, I came off the bench, and he talked to people and he said, listen, John Bell can start in any team in the country. He can even start for this team, but his energy and what he brings, if I bring him in 4 minutes once the game has already started, and he's coming with an energy that can last the whole game, he's going to turn the game around in our favor just like that. And I took no offense to that because I'm like, I don't need to start. I know that I'm going to get on the floor. And when you get on the floor in university, it's about just staying on the floor. So you don't get in foul trouble and you don't do anything silly. And Coach K's like, I'm going to give you your time if you earn your time. So I didn't mind starting. His philosophy was you do what's right and you're good.
You led the team in scoring in 2003 to 2005?
I would say, I think it was 2003, 2004. But here's the thing. I led the team in scoring with 11 points a game. If you look at that now, people are like, well, that's not too much because we had 6 guys in double figures. So if I'm at 11, the next guy was at like 10, and the other guy was at 10, and 11. So I might have been 11 point whatever, but there's 6 guys in double figures. That's unheard of. To have 6 guys on your team averaging 10 points or more a game, that's unheard of. So we had everybody on that team was just quote unquote a superstar in high school or wherever they came from. Everybody was scoring. I left there, Algonquin, I was averaging 27 points a game. So for me to go down, if I told somebody I'm averaging 11 points a game, they're like, that's it? Yeah, because it wasn't about what I was averaging. It's about how we're going to get a W. How are we going to win? So one night, I might have 2 points. Somebody else might have 20. But on an average, we all did what we had to do to get the job. When the ball was in your hand in the certain set, and if it was your time to shoot, you shoot. And if it wasn't, you don't. So, yeah, I would have led the team in scoring, but it wasn't even like something that you were thinking about. You just said, how am I going to get a W? Yeah. Because if I can have all the accolades in the world and without a championship, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. I said, I want to win.